Alright, it's May the 4th, so it only seems fitting to have a Star Wars topic for today's episode. With the release of the Darth Malak figure for the 25th anniversary of LEGO Star Wars back in 2024, I thought it would be fun to have a look back at some of the other Old Republic and Knights of the Old Republic minifigures that have been released across the years. In 2012, LEGO Star Wars released 4 sets under the umbrella of the Old Republic. Now, I don't have any of the actual sets, but I have somehow come into possession of most of the figures in the series. No idea how. Could it be because these are some of the best figures that LEGO Star Wars has ever produced? Well, let's find out. Set 9497 Republic Striker-class starfighter contains 3 out of the 12 minifigures in the series. The astromech droid T701 might seem an odd place to start, as some people do not consider astromech droids to be proper minifigures, but this guy is not just a great figure, but a great little build too, containing 3 printed elements and a working third wheel leg that R2-D2 and other astromech droids only have in larger builds. This little build packs a lot into its just 15 pieces. It's just a shame looking at the pictures that there's nowhere to sit him in the actual starfighter build itself. Regardless, I really appreciate this small little build and the uniqueness he brings if you're an astromech droid collector. The second figure in this set, Satele Sha, might be the most basic of the 3 Jedis that come out in this sub-theme, but that doesn't mean bland. A sand green torso and legs laced with gold print work is great, really standing out in a crowd, especially since most of the Jedi figures we are used to come in a variety of brown and tan robes. Not that there is anything wrong with tan. Equipped with her double-bladed blue lightsaber, Satele translates well into minifigure form. Now, if a double-bladed lightsaber was not a big enough weapon for you, then Republic Trooper Jace Malcolm has something that might impress you. Armed with a huge blaster Gatling gun build that is taller than he is, it sure is one of the most intimidating minifigure weapons that I have ever seen any figure wield. His red-coloured armour makes him stand out from the other troopers, and his scarred face makes him look like a real badass. This face design would go on to be used only one other time for a bounty hunter figure the following year, but the face would end up being hidden behind a mask, which is unfortunate. Moving on to set 9500, Sith Fury-class interceptor. This set is home to the most coveted figure in the sub-theme. The images of Darth Malgus really do speak for themselves, as does that eye-watering price tag. Malgus is the standout figure in the line. His lightsaber is the only standard thing about him, being the usual silver and red combination of the Sith. His thin black cape would be a one-off for nearly 8 years, until 2020, when a Mandalorian battle pack would introduce a very similar cloth cut for its capes. An epic shoulder and mouth piece perfectly captures the villainous look from the games, as does that menacing, scarred and battle-worn face behind it. It is one of the most striking Star Wars minifigures LEGO has ever produced, but it's very sad that most people will not be able to reach the hefty price of entry that this Dark Lord commands. But don't worry about that, just look how scary he is. The other 2 figures rounding out the set are a pair of Sith troopers. Now, oddly, the 2 included in this set don't have any leg printing, which is bizarre. The one you are looking at here is from a cheaper Republic Trooper vs Sith Trooper set, and that has leg printing, and it's very good too. The helmet is a great mould, also sporting its own array of well-done prints. It's an excellent figure for squad building. Just a shame the more expensive set cut down on the printing for this guy. Speaking of that battle pack, let's talk about set 75001, Republic Troopers vs Sith Troopers. Giving out the orders to the Sith Troopers is this Sith Commander, separating itself from the pack with its dark red uniform. The helmet mould is the same, but the printing is slightly different. A thicker red line down the centre of the darker gunmetal grey on the nose and snout make him feel a little bit more ominous than his subordinate. In this set, he also comes with a bigger gun compared to his underling, but not the biggest gun in the set. That honour belongs to one of the Republic troopers, who is sporting a minigun. Man, the old Republic troopers love their big guns. Aside from the kind of heat that the troopers are packing, the only difference between them are the faces under the helmets. As for those helmets, they look like prototype clone and stormtroopers, but just a little bit chunkier towards the rear. Orange on white is a nice combination for the troops. Looking at these though, it might have been really nice to have a red variation of that helmet for Jace, but I'm probably being a little bit too greedy at that point, especially since we are about to look at the final group of figures that came out in this series in the biggest set of the wave, set 75025, the Jedi Defender class cruise ship. First up is the Jedi Counselor, an unusual olive green skinned Jedi dressed not for battle but in ceremonial white and gold robes. But that does not mean that this unnamed Jedi is not a threat. When a fight breaks out, she is armed with another double-bladed green lightsaber. Damn, double-bladed lightsabers were popular back in the day. Her headpiece in white is exclusive to this set, but other Jedi in the future would make use of this exclusive piece in other colours. Luminary and Dooley used it twice, once in black for her appearance in the 2011 Battle of Geonosis set, and then again, but in brown this time, for the clone Turbo tank, which was released in 2016. This next figure LEGO calls Jedi Knight on the box, but we later came to learn that his name was Kyosen Duras. Sorry, I've probably butchered that name. Ko has the distinction of being only the third Zabrak figure LEGO has produced, standing alongside the many adaptations of Darth Maul and the one LEGOization of his brother Savage Opress from the Clone Wars. Unlike those dark side disciples though, this Jedi Knight has a head and face printing that is much friendlier in that nougaty colour, with well detailed printing on his torso. It might take the prize for the best Jedi figure in this sub-theme, but it's a close fought contest. He comes armed with a standard blue lightsaber and an even more dangerous price tag, with his average Bricklink asking price being close to £100. The set also comes with another Sith Trooper, with leg printing this time, but more interestingly, the set also comes with a Sith Warrior. Man, this guy is really cool. Hooded with unique head, leg and torso printing that utilises a lot of silver on that dark red and grey body, dual-wielding two black-hilted lightsabers with red blades. He makes a fine addition to Darth Malgus's army. This mysterious guy demands a price of around £40 to £50, making him slightly too expensive to be a viable figure for army building with. With that set out of the way, the whole collection of Old Republic minifigures is complete, but there are a few other characters I would like to touch on quickly. First, that 25th anniversary Darth Malak figure. It looks exquisite, and is a figure that fans have wanted for quite a while. I don't have this guy, but I did make my own version of him using the most fitting pieces I could find. A Clone Wars animated Palpatine body, a Lobot head to get the decorations around the side of the head, and that grey breathing apparatus for the mask, which sticks out a little bit too much for this character. It's a fair attempt, but pales in comparison to the real deal that LEGO produced. Good job, LEGO. Now I have to spend money on this guy at some point. But it's not just me making customised Sith figures to fill in gaps that LEGO has missed. This custom Darth Nihilus figure from Firestar Toys has a really well done face mould, and I've had a go at making one of his disciples, Darth Sionis, as well, but without using custom moulds and printings. He's simply made out of an old Darth Vader head and a grey alien body that came out in one of the collectible minifigure series. It's unlikely that we'll ever get an official LEGO representation of either of these two Siths, given that their backstories are so dark and twisted in the Star Wars canon. But stranger things have happened. Now, circling back to Darth Malak, just why was this guy so in demand over the years? Well, that's all the fault of the May 4th polybag that came out in 2014. Darth Revan, a legendary Sith, and spoiler alert, the main character of the Knights of the Old Republic video games, former master to Darth Malak, and now an excellent figure in his own right, and fans really wanted to get their hands on him. The combination of dark red and black work excellently together, and the face printing, although a little simple compared to something like the Sith Warrior, is very accurate and incredibly well done. It is just a shame about that stupidly high asking price for this guy at the moment. I don't remember what I paid for him when I got him, sometime after his 2016 May 4th re-release, but it certainly was not the near £200 that people are asking for him at the moment. This makes him sadly the most expensive minifigure that we have looked at today. And on that sour note, it's time to wrap up this video. Thank you for watching and spending part of your Star Wars day with me. Subscribe if you like, because I throw up videos here at random, and that way you can come on back for the next one.